In the heart of the dense, dark forest, a group of friends embarked on a thrilling adventure. Little did they know that the forest held a terrifying secret, waiting to be unleashed upon them. As the group trekked deeper into the woods, the atmosphere grew increasingly eerie. The trees whispered haunting melodies, and the wind carried an unsettling chill. Shadows danced between the gnarled branches, giving the impression of hidden eyes watching their every move. As dusk settled over the forest, the friends decided to set up camp. They built a fire, hoping its warmth and light would ward off the encroaching darkness. But their attempts were in vain. The forest seemed to swallow their feeble flames, leaving them shrouded in an impenetrable blackness. Unbeknownst to them, the forest was home to a malevolent force. Legend spoke of an ancient curse that had befallen the woods, turning it into a realm of nightmares. The spirits of those who had perished there roamed the forest, seeking revenge on any who dared to enter. One by one, the friends began to notice strange occurrences. Whispers filled the air, their voices carrying the weight of despair. Shadows flickered and morphed into grotesque forms, causing their hearts to race with fear. The forest seemed alive, its twisted branches reaching out like bony fingers, grasping at their sanity. In the dead of night, the true horror of the forest was unleashed. Ghostly figures emerged from the shadows, their eyes glowing a sinister crimson. They whispered ancient incantations, casting spells that trapped the friends within a nightmarish realm. Lost and terrified, they stumbled through the labyrinthine forest, their footsteps echoing through the dense undergrowth. They could feel the forest closing in around them, its suffocating presence squeezing the life out of their souls. Driven by desperation, they finally stumbled upon an ancient shrine hidden deep within the forest. Sensing a glimmer of hope, they frantically searched for a way to break the curse. With trembling hands, they uncovered a long, forgotten ritual, hoping it would grant them salvation. As they performed the ritual, the forest convulsed in a fit of rage. The spirits howled in agony, their power weakening with each passing second. And then as suddenly as it began, the forest fell silent. The friends found themselves standing on the outskirts of the now calm and peaceful woods. The curse had been broken, and they were finally free. With hearts still pounding, they vowed never to speak of their horrifying ordeal in those haunted woods. To this day, the forest remains an enigma, its secrets buried deep within its ancient roots. But those who have heard the tale of the cursed forest know better than to venture into its depths, for the spirits that once tormented the friends may still be lurking, waiting for their next victims. Deep within the heart of a dense ancient forest, there lay a place that locals whispered about in hushed tones. They called it the Scared Forest, a name that sent shivers down the spines of those who dared to speak of it. Legends spoke of a malevolent presence that haunted the woods, waiting to prey upon unsuspecting souls. One fateful night, a group of thrill-seekers decided to test their courage and venture into the Scared Forest. Ignoring the warnings of the villagers, they entered the forest with trepidation, their hearts pounding in their chests. As they delved deeper into the forest, the air grew heavy with an otherworldly silence. The usual sounds of nature were absent, replaced by an eerie stillness that made their skin crawl. The trees loomed overhead, their branches twisted and gnarled, casting long, menacing shadows that seemed to reach out for them. The group pressed on, their nerves on edge. Strange whispers filled the air, their source seemed impossible to pinpoint. Each step they took felt like a trespass into forbidden territory, as if the forest itself was warning them to turn back. As night fell, the forest transformed into a realm of nightmares. The moon's pale light struggled to penetrate the thick canopy, leaving the group in near darkness. Shadows danced and twisted, taking on sinister forms that seemed to mock their presence. Suddenly, a blood-curdling scream pierced the night. Panic gripped the group as they realized one of their own had vanished without a trace. Frantic, they searched for their missing friend, their calls for help swallowed by the oppressive silence. One by one, The remaining members of the group fell victim to the forest's horrors. They were tormented by unseen forces, their minds plagued by hallucinations and their bodies racked with inexplicable pain. The forest seemed to feed on their fear, growing stronger with each passing moment. In their final moments of desperation, the survivors stumbled upon an ancient, dilapidated cabin hidden deep within the forest. Desperate for refuge, they sought shelter within its decaying walls. But little did they know that the cabin held its own dark secrets. Inside, they discovered a journal, its pages filled with the ramblings of a tormented soul who had once sought solace within the scared forest. The journal spoke of a curse that had befallen the woods, a curse that fed on the fear and despair of those who dared to enter. Realizing the truth, the survivors knew they had to break the curse if they were to have any hope of escaping the forest's clutches. With trembling hands, they performed a ritual described in the journal, hoping it would banish the malevolent presence that held them captive. As they completed the ritual, the forest convulsed in a violent frenzy. The trees thrashed and groaned, their branches lashing out in a final act of defiance. And then, as suddenly as it began, the forest fell silent. The survivors emerged from the scared forest, their bodies battered and their spirits forever scarred. They vowed never to speak of their harrowing ordeal, knowing that the forest's curse would forever haunt their memories. The scared forest remains a place of dread, a cautionary tale whispered among the villagers. It serves as a chilling reminder that some places are best left undisturbed, for the darkness that resides within them can consume even the bravest souls. Once upon a time, in a remote village nestled at the edge of a vast, foreboding forest, there lived a family. The Johnsons, a loving family of 4, decided to embark on a weekend camping trip to reconnect with nature and escape the chaos of their everyday lives. Little did they know that their idyllic getaway would soon turn into a nightmare they could never have imagined. As they ventured deeper into the forest, the atmosphere grew increasingly ominous. The trees loomed overhead, casting long, eerie shadows that seemed to whisper secrets to one another. The air grew heavy with an unexplainable tension, causing the family's excitement to wane. They set up camp near a tranquil stream, hoping the soothing sound of running water would ease their unease. But as night fell, the forest came alive with a malevolent energy. Strange noises echoed through the trees, and the wind carried a chilling howl that sent shivers down their spines. The Johnsons huddled together around the campfire, seeking solace in its flickering light. But their sense of security was short-lived. From the depths of the forest, they heard the distant cries of something inhuman. The cries grew louder, closer, and more menacing with each passing moment. Fear gripped their hearts as they realized they were not alone. Shadows danced between the trees, their forms twisted and distorted. The family's once peaceful camping trip had transformed into a fight for survival. Desperate to escape the encroaching horror, they packed their belongings and attempted to flee. But the forest seemed to conspire against them, leading them in circles, disorienting their senses. Panic set in as they realized they were trapped, ensnared in a nightmarish maze of trees and darkness. As the night wore on, the forest revealed its true nature. The trees contorted into grotesque shapes, their branches reaching out like skeletal fingers, grasping at the family's sanity. Whispering voices filled the air, their words incomprehensible yet filled with malice. One by one, the family members succumbed to the forest's sinister influence. Their minds twisted, their bodies weakened. They turned against each other in a frenzy of madness. Love and trust were replaced by paranoia and violence. In the end, only one member of the Johnson family remained. Sarah, the youngest daughter, fought desperately to break free from the forest's clutches. With every ounce of strength she had left, she pushed through the thorny undergrowth, tears streaming down her face. Finally, as dawn broke, Sarah stumbled out of the forest, her body battered and her spirit broken. She collapsed onto the ground, gasping for breath, grateful to have escaped the forest's grasp. But the horrors she had witnessed would forever haunt her dreams. The Johnson family's fate serves as a chilling reminder of the darkness that can lurk within the heart of nature. The forest, once a symbol of tranquility and beauty, had become a malevolent force, tearing apart the bonds of family and leaving only despair in its wake. And so, the tale of the Johnsons serves as a warning to all who dare to venture into the depths of the unknown, for the forest may not always welcome you with open arms, but instead, it may devour your very soul.